Hi boys and girls, this is Miss Lundgren. I'm going to walk you through how to use these playlists that you are going to be using for all of quarter one. So the website that you visit to get to this Google Doc is right here underlined in blue. It's bit.ly/WBMS 8 math, and this is going to have everything that you need for all of quarter one. The first link that you see right here is how to use these playlists, which is the video that you're watching right now. So if you are halfway through a playlist and you forget how to do it, just go ahead and click this link again and rewatch this video to understand how. The title of whatever you're working on is at the very top of your playlist in bold. The first unit that you're going to be working on is Pythagorean theorem and irrational numbers. It also talks about the standards that you're going to be learning during this unit, and then it gives you the information. So this is something that you want to read through before starting your work, because these are the questions that you're going to need to be able to answer by the end of the unit, and what you are going to learn is here in your enduring understanding, and then a description of everything that you're going to do is here. Then you have a section called skill work, and this is a blend space, which I know most of you have used before. You can return to this as often as needed. So even though it's coming first, that doesn't mean that you can only do it once and then you move on. The blend space is the only thing in your playlist where you can go back to constantly. So maybe you're deciding that every day for the first 5 minutes of class you're going to start working on the blend space just to get practice on the skill. The skill that you're going to be focusing on that goes along with your unit of Pythagorean theorem is rational and irrational numbers. So when you click on it, anything that's underlined in blue is a link. It will take you to the blend space. And in this particular blend space, you have 6 informational videos of how to use and understand and solve for rational and irrational numbers. Then you have 6 different games that you can choose from playing. And then you have 3 different lessons all about this topic. And you can choose what you do on whatever day you're working on this. After your skill work, you have your first checkpoint. Now, unlike the blend space where you can go back to it anytime you want, the checkpoints need to be done in a sequential order. So what I mean by that is, here's your first checkpoint, this whole section right here. You have the checkpoint portion, and you have the resources portion. You always have to do the resources before you do the checkpoint. So you see here in checkpoint 1, square roots are rational numbers or irrational numbers that can be represented on the number line. Rational numbers have decimal representations that terminate or repeat, while irrational numbers do not. Everything about what I just read to you is going to be you are going to experience by doing these resources. So again, anything that's underlined in blue is a link. So you click on the first one, you open it, and you're going to be working on all of these different resources as small groups. So after you finish making squares, then you're going to go on to 2 regions, 1 square, 3 squares squaring, and you're going to do all of these. These are not graded. However, these are your learning opportunities to work collaboratively with groups of kids in your class, so that when you do go and complete this checkpoint, you'll understand how to do it. So again, all of these are going to be done collaboratively. You can decide if you want to do them on the computer or ask your teacher to print them out for you. When you've finished all the resources in this box for the checkpoint, then you're going to tell your teacher you're ready for the checkpoint. He or she will print this checkpoint out for you, and you are going to do this independently because it's going to count as a quiz grade for you. So there will be no opportunity to work with each other. That's why you really want to work together on these resources. So you're going to do each of these resources, then tell your teacher you're ready for the checkpoint. You're going to take the checkpoint, have it graded, and then you're going to move on to the next section. And again, you're going to start by doing each one of these resources in a small group. When you're finished, tell your teacher. He or she will print out your checkpoint, which is right here, and it will be graded. You have a third one right here, And then at the very end, you're going to have a performance task. Your performance task is going to be done independently, just like the checkpoints. This, however, is going to count for a test grade. This is going to be a combination of everything that you've learned in your resources from the checkpoints, your checkpoints, and also from that blend space. So before you go and tell your teacher you're ready to take this performance task, make sure you fully understand what you've learned in these checkpoints, and you are have a good understanding of what you've done in the skill work section on the blend space before you go and take this test. I've color-coded the different playlists that you're going to do. So the first one, Pythagorean theorem and irrational numbers, is all yellow. Your next one is going to be integers, exponents, and scientific notation. And when this is finished, I will also highlight that for you so that you know that it's a completely different playlist than the one that you did before. All right, have fun learning.